What kinds of benefits and results have you seen, since we're talking about women, among the women that you've worked with over the years, using fasting as one of their tools?
I think that the great majority of women that come to us have tried each and every single dietary approach out there, right? They're at the end of the rope here. They have tried all the low calorie diets. They have tried every single program out there, every fad diet out there, including some of the lower carb ketogenic diets that have become more and more popular over the last few years, and they're just frustrated because nothing has worked, or it works for a little while. It's either not sustainable or they don't see the same results, especially when it comes to low calorie diets. I mean, women have done all the diets out there and have been told over and over again that they need to eat less and move more, and they've tried that. Many people have done gastric bypass surgeries in the past, and even that has not been successful. And so they're really at the end of their rope. And then eventually they come across something that Megan or Dr. Fung have either said or written, or maybe something that I have said or written more recently. And then they become interested and they join our community. And not only do they get a whole lot of support from people who've had the same experiences, finally, somebody is saying to them, yeah, low calorie doesn't work, move less, eat less, move more doesn't work. Exercise is wonderful and necessary and beneficial, but that's not necessarily what's going to get you to burn fat, reverse diabetes, and whatnot. And so then the success that we've seen, and this is not short term. So fasting is by no means a fad diet. As we've mentioned in the beginning, it's been around forever. Every single religion uses fasting in one way or another. And so it's not a fad diet. It's not, and it doesn't necessarily have to be combined with any one specific diet. Like, you don't have to be animal based or plant based or low calorie or even low carb to benefit from fasting. So there's a lot of benefits to fasting. I mentioned some, helping with our deranged sort of metabolic and reproductive hormones. In the case of PCOS, we of course talked about fat burning, right? Getting your body into that lower insulin fat burning state. So changing body composition, much more important than even weight loss, right? People come to us initially because of weight loss, but eventually that changes into better body composition, less visceral or organ fat, all the things that are really troublesome. And so we've seen a tremendous amount of success. We've had, luckily for us, over 10 years, as I said, of experience working with everyone, men and women, but mostly women that have lost a significant amount of weight with fasting. And feel like they finally have control over their health. The one thing that we hear most often from women is that they don't feel hungry for the first times in their lives. They feel a lot of control over what they eat and how they feel. There's a lot of energy. So there's a tremendous amount of successful weight loss journeys that people can read in our community, in our program. So weight is a big one. Okay. And that's what the majority of people come to us for and are looking for. Reversal of type 2 diabetes, which supposedly was impossible. People who've gotten off of all of their diabetic medications and have completely reversed diabetes. And I'm not just saying, these sort of abnormal cases. I'm talking about the great majority of our community has had either pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, including our coaches, including myself. So it's I would say it's almost 50-50. 50% of our community has lost a ton of weight. 50% of our community has reversed diabetes. And then you do have in the middle there some hybrids that had both. So it's a tremendous amount of success. Then if we look into the younger people, which we now have more and more of, thankfully, and I think because of the work that Jason and I have done together, you are looking at young women with PCOS who had abnormal menstrual cycles or who struggled with fertility and are having tremendous success. And that's a huge part of a woman's life. And we're now seeing more and more young people struggling with fertility. And so being able to help people in natural ways to help them conceive is a huge win. And so we're seeing a lot of that. And for me, that is not the majority of our community, not yet at least. It might become, but as of right now, it's the overweight diabetic older population.
Wow. Yeah. So it sounds like you have a lot of people who had done a lot of diets before and had struggled. Probably a lot of yo-yo dieting and that That's sort right. of thing. and had never really felt like they could get over the hump. And then by incorporating some type of fasting, with coaching with you guys and everything, that they were able to not only lose weight in many, many cases, often reverse type 2 diabetes, control hunger, feel better, and then if kind of necessary, quote unquote, be able to, control a condition like PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, which often makes people unable to conceive. So you were able to kind of get over that infertility problem, which can be not only frustrating, but very expensive, right? Because there's all this like in vitro fertilization and stuff, which costs thousands and thousands of dollars. And if you can fix that with something that's relatively simple and inexpensive, it doesn't cost any money except for maybe the coaching or whatever, to do fasting, then that's pretty amazing.